Yeah, let's look at the European side of the equation right now. Let's look at SAP. They came out with numbers just at the top of the last hour. Sales up 20%, profit up 13%. The numbers looked pretty nice, pretty well in line with where people have been hoping. The growth, though, is clear to see. It's all about cloud subscriptions. More than doubling is what we're seeing. 555 million euros being dragged in by cloud subscriptions. Because we don't want our programs to be on our computer alone. We don't want traditional licensed software anymore. We want software that gets to us wherever we are, whether we're on our tablet, whether we're on our smartphone. We want it delivered via online. We want it in the cloud, as it's now known. And this is something SAP initially struggled to catch up with in terms of the trend, but it's invested heavily, it's bought companies, and now they're set to see a quadrupling in subscriptions by 2020. This is SAP's target. You look across the Atlantic and you see once again how the cloud is making and breaking companies, how we're seeing some missing the boat, not managing to get there quickly enough. One of them is IBM. Sales out yesterday down 13%, and that's the 13th straight quarterly fall that we've seen in IBM sales. This was a juggernaut of a company. Just think of the 380,000 employees. It's a 103-year history. But its history is what is tugging it back, because it's trying to transition. It's trying to get into cloud computing technology, into data analytics. But, of course, this is a company that used to make the big servers that we all had to invest in within our own offices. This is the company that had storage as well. Services is what they made their money in. No more. We're seeing declines across the board in all those traditional businesses, and the new businesses and areas that they're investing in not quite making up or offsetting. So the cloud hasn't offset the business slowdown. Also, this is a company that was hit by the dollar. 9% is how much it hurt them in their second quarter. They say in the whole year we're likely to see the dollar weigh in about 8% on their sales. Remember, looking at the euro and the dollar, we're seeing actually the dollar up some 12% so far this year. Let's have a little look at another company that's doing really rather well on optimism to do with the cloud, Amazon. Amazon Web Services, it was an area that suddenly started to break out. Yes, Amazon is an online retailer, one that could even leapfrog Macy's, so say some analysts, in terms of the biggest retailer of clothing. But it's also an infrastructure seller, a seller of infrastructure for the cloud. Record high, we saw the numbers in terms of their overall share price yesterday. Why is the share price getting so excited ahead of their numbers out on Thursday? It's about the Amazon Web Services unit that many analysts saying this is booming. This is an area of diversification. It's not just about the consumer in the United States. It's about small startups. So many of Tech City here in London, so many of those, of course, in Silicon Valley use Amazon Web Services for their own infrastructure to put all their data on the internet. And also, of course, there's the Prime Day that was last week. We saw a little bit of a backlash from consumers, but actually it seems to have done really rather well, up 18% in terms of sales versus Black Friday. Prime Day, I think it's here to stay.